In this r/am I the bad guy true Reddit story compilation, a couple throws a surprise wedding and leaves their mothers angry. A sister is accused of ruining a wedding over dress shopping, and a bride tells her brother-in-law to leave the wedding for wearing a dress. Story 1. Am I the bad guy for having a surprise wedding at mine and my husband's engagement party? Background: my father, 66-year-old male, suddenly passed away in February. It's been a big shock and adjustment for everyone. My now husband, 35-year-old male, proposed on my 33-year-old female birthday in March. He'd already talked to my mom and dad about it. I'm not a fan of big parties, so husband and I decided to do a small celebration for our engagement, have a nice meal at a fancy hotel, everyone can dress up. The more we planned and the more we talked about it, we thought it would be fun to just get married. We have been together for coming up on 10 years. Neither of us wanted a big wedding, so we thought a small surprise wedding would suit us. Especially with my dad passing away, I didn't want a traditional big white wedding. We invited 10 people, my mom, sister, and her partner, his mom, dad, brother, his partner, and daughter. We also invited our best friends, who are also in a relationship. All goes to plan. Everyone arrives. They are escorted into our reserved room, where they see a sign saying welcome to the wedding of husband and opus. Everyone is surprised. Our officiant gets people and places. Husband and I walk in together. We get married. Both moms sign the marriage certificate. We go for our sit-down meal. Everyone seemed happy at the time. People were laughing, saying they should have expected it. We had a photographer there to catch their reaction, ceremony, and posed pictures after. We went away locally for a small honeymoon. When we have gotten back, both my mom and his mom have pulled us aside separately to say they were disappointed in us, that we had taken away their opportunity to be with us when we chose a venue and did wedding planning stuff. They are both especially upset they never came wedding dress shopping with me, which I ironically didn't even do. I bought an emerald green 1950s bodycon pencil dress online. It was the first and only dress I tried on. Am I the bad guy for taking away everyone's chance to be involved with the wedding? No way are you the bad guy for throwing the wedding that you wanted. They can feel disappointed all they want, but you aren't responsible for their reactions. You both wanted a small wedding with the people most important to you. They should be happy for you two that have found happiness with each other and celebrated in a way that suits you. Story 2. Am I the bad guy for ruining my brother's new wife's wedding? I am freshly 18 years old female. My brother is 26 years old. Him and his fiancée, now wife, have been together for almost 5 years, and they obviously are about to get married. She is 1 year younger than him. Just for context, my brother popped the question, she said yes, and then the wedding preparations started. I was so excited because I don't have any sisters, only 2 brothers, and I'm also the youngest. So my brother asked our half-brother to be in his wedding, and also his wife's brother to be the best man and groomsman. I just wanted to be the flower girl, but they said I was too old. Instead, the wife said you could be a bridesmaid, which I was really excited for. Just for context, before the wedding we got along good, and I kind of liked her. She was pretty nice to me, just didn't really talk to me. So me, my mom, and the wife and her 2 other bridesmaids went to the dress shop to look for dresses. She said the only requirement is that it has to be red and flowy. I by nature have body image problems, so finding a dress to complement my body was going to be hard, but I was going to do my best to find one that I liked within her color scheme. We went to 3 different shops, and each time we all went, plus they added the wife's mom. On the 3rd one I kept trying dresses on and simply kept trying to find one that fit me. Also never being rude or giving up, I just nicely politely said I didn't like it. I'm on like the 5th one when all of a sudden the bride starts screaming at me saying, "Why are you trying to ruin my wedding? What's wrong with you?" And so on. I start crying, and then her mom starts screaming at me saying, "Why would you make my daughter cry?" My mom goes outside to talk to them, and then the bride cusses my mom out, and her mom cussed her out. Then I find out later they did not want me in the wedding to begin with. They invited me in because they both wanted their brothers to be in it but not me. So am I the bad guy for ruining her wedding? Everyone seems to be the bad guy in this story. Opus pushed to be in the wedding and was made a bridesmaid. However, she made dress shopping too much about her. Usually, the bridesmaids are not given too much flexibility with their dresses. There is a time and place to be picky, but I don't think this is it. The bride and her mother overreacted and were too hostile. Perhaps there's more to the story, but blowing up as stated in the story is too much. Overall, it is probably best you are not in the wedding party. You can wear what makes you comfortable to the wedding and be more at ease. Story 3. Am I the bad guy for threatening to kick my brother-in-law out of my wedding? I, 27-year-old female, got married to my husband, 29-year-old male, last weekend. We spent months planning it and we were really excited because we had managed to rent our dream venue, find a perfect bakery for the cake, and gorgeous decoration. We went with a fairy tale aesthetic and most of our decoration was a dark green wood toned. For the bridal party, we chose a few fairly affordable dresses that fit the theme, each about $100, and I asked each of my bridesmaids to buy one for themselves. I clarified that if any of them was struggling financially, I'd cover the cost of the dress. A few weeks ago, my husband's brother, 24-year-old male, who is one of the groomsmen, asked me whether he could wear a dress to the wedding as well. I knew that he liked expressing himself through fashion, so I told him to go ahead and sent him the same selection of dresses my bridesmaids had been given. Apart from thanking me, I didn't hear back from him about the dress situation, so I just assumed that there were no problems. However, the day of the wedding, he showed up in a pink dress, not a muted rose, but a hot pink, walking highlighter. I asked him what the fuck he was wearing and he told me that I had given him permission to wear a dress. I had, but I was expecting him to pick from my pre-chosen selection, and I had very clearly communicated that. He just shrugged, saying he hadn't liked any of those dresses. At that point, I was nothing but stressed and trying to hold back angry tears. Even after my husband had tried talking to him, he insisted on wearing that dress, and I set an ultimatum for him to either go change, my husband had a spare suit at the venue, or get out. He told me calm down because Bridezilla didn't look good on me and I just screamed at him to go change or I'd kick him out myself. He seemed surprised at my outburst and with an annoyed huff, he went to get changed into my husband's suit. Apart from that incident, the evening was lovely and except for the ceremony, my husband tried keeping his brother as far away from me as possible. I've had time to think about the situation and am starting to think I might have overreacted a bit and shouldn't have been as rude. Both my husband and my bridesmaids think that I had every right to be angry, but my brother-in-law hasn't talked to any of us since the wedding, and my brother received some calls from his family about how he shouldn't have let me talk like that to his brother. Am I the bad guy? Not the bad guy. You had a detailed wedding plan. If he was so into fashion, then he should know how important color schemes are. You let him wear a dress with the stipulation that it fits the wedding theme. He agreed, but then showed up in something wildly different that would draw attention to him. He didn't communicate this to you beforehand and broke your agreement. This isn't his time for attention, it's yours. Your reaction is very understandable. He can sulk about it all he wants. He was in the wrong.